Good day, everyone. On behalf of my team teachers, I would like to welcome all of you to our virtual team teaching demo. In this lesson, we will talk about the CIPP evaluation model, its four components, its diagram, and its definition as proposed and developed by Daniel Stufflebeam. We will talk a little bit about Daniel Stufflebeam, his work, and his life achievements. We will also talk about how the CIPP evaluation model could help address the critical problems encountered by the local villagers of Magalumbi Islands in Iloilo in the Eyewitness Batang Langoy documentary. And last but not least, we will also talk about the content of our project and our budget proposal in addressing the main problem that we think the local villagers have been experiencing for a long time. But before we can proceed to our online lesson for today, let us pose this question to trigger your curiosity. This is the question. To what one education philosophy, like for example, perennialism, and one curriculum development approach, like for example, behavioral rational approach, are best aligned to Daniel Stufflebeam's CIPP evaluation model? In order for us to answer this question, we need to know what exactly is the CIPP evaluation model and who developed it. So, yung CIPP evaluation model was developed by Daniel Stufflebeam. He is one of the founding fathers of the field of evaluation. He was born on September 19, 1936, in Waverly, Iowa, and later attended Wartburg College in Waverly. He graduated from the University of Iowa in 1958 and received a master's and doctorate degree from Purdue University in 1964. The CIPP evaluation model is a decision-oriented model that systematically collects information about the program to identify strengths and limitations in content or delivery, to improve program effectiveness and or plan for the future of a program. Meaning, it is an evaluation tool that could help the evaluator assess and better understand the need at the start of the program and if it had an effect at the end of it. So there are four components of CIPP. It stands for context, input, process, and product. Let us now define each component as illustrated by the below diagram. First, context evaluation. This is the overall goals or mission. It asks the question what needs to be done. Sa stage na ito, pinag-uusapan kung sino yung mga beneficiaries, ano yung needs, yung resources na gagamitin, kung ano yung mga problems, ano yung background, at ano yung environment. The second is input evaluation. It is the plan. It asks the question, how should it be done? Dito naman, inaalam kung sino yung stakeholders, ano yung mga strategies na gagamitin, yung budget allocation, yung coverage, kung gaano kalawak yung sasakupin ng program, at yung research. The third is yung process evaluation, the activities or components. It asks the question, is it being done? Sa stage na to, ginagawa yung implementation, monitoring, and feedback. And the fourth is product evaluation, the outcomes of objective. And it asks the question, is it succeeding? So basically, sa stage na to, inaalam yung effectiveness ng program. So to further realize the benefits of using the CIPP evaluation model, I will now turn you over to Ms. Mira Flor. She will further discuss how the CIPP evaluation model developed by Daniel Stufflebeam would help us understand and maybe solve the problem of the local villagers of Magalumbi, who was featured in the Eyewitness documentary entitled Batang Langoy. So, Ma'am Miraflor, please take the helm.
Thank you, Sir Obet. But before we dig further on how we can provide the solutions to the problems of the local villagers of Magalumbi, by the help of the CIPP evaluation tool, let us all answer this question. What are the possible solutions to the identified problem on eyewitness documentary Batang Langoy using the CIPP evaluation model? To discuss clearly and substantively how the critical issues in Batang Langoy an eyewitness documentary can be addressed by the David Stufflebeam's CIPP model, the CIPP evaluation model will serve as an evaluation guide that will allow us to evaluate at different stages the development and execution of the program. As you can see on the presentation, what is presented there is a concrete example of how David Stufflebeam's CIPP model works. The evaluation model would help us solve the identified problem in the documentary, which is the lack of school infrastructure at Magalumbi Island. Referring to the PowerPoint presentation, the C on the CIPP model, which stands for context, focuses on the goal of the program. As you can see, the goal was to establish a low-cost school site within the island of Magalumbi. The input, or I, on the CIPP model shows what is needed or what are the required resources. What is indicated there is in order to achieve the goal, a budget and solution proposal will be crafted. Then the P, which stands for the process, or the question of how we are going to do it. It is mentioned there that number one, we will be working with the stakeholders, which is composed of the DepEd, DSWD, and LGU. Number two, implement the budget and solution proposal. And lastly, number three, through community involvement of the island villagers of Magalumbi. They will be taught during the construction of the classroom buildings. At the end of the project, the expected output or the product on the CIPP model is the establishment of 2-unit low-cost classroom and provide means of transportation and lodging house to the teachers within the Magalumbi Island and a curriculum program that will enable education to be accessible to remote barangays. As you will notice, the CIPP model of Daniel Stufflebeam is a decision-oriented model. Creating a program with CIPP as a framework enables the careful scrutiny and review of each component of the program, which includes identifying the need, actions needed, resources required, and the desired goal or product. In terms of the philosophy of education, the model is best aligned to the philosophy of education, which is essentialism. As its definition suggests, that under essentialism, it identifies needs and produces products that are essential to the goal. The curriculum approach, on the other hand, is systematic managerial that encourage participation and involvement of all stakeholders, synthesize divergent viewpoints, identify common vision and goals, encourage unity of purpose, and translate abstract ideas into concrete ones. Considering the philosophy of education and the curriculum approach mentioned, the teacher here should be organized in implementing the programs. They should create a climate of innovation and change. The teacher must be competent and on the flow of what is needed. Right, Sir Russell? How about, sir, the instructional practices? What are those instructional practices that a teacher should adopt when practicing the CIPP model?
Hi guys, it's me and Clarence. Maybe the coming.
Yes,
Say hello.
Ma'am Myra, thank you. Good day, everyone. I'm Russell Banyes, third member of the group under Daniel Stufflebeam CIPB model, and today I'm going to discuss instructional practices and strategies used by the teacher adopting Daniel Stufflebeam CIPP model. As we evaluate the Eyewitness Batang Langoy documentary, industrial practices are used to ensure in the implementation of the curriculum, human and material are optimally used to produce expressed objectives. Also, collaborating with different stakeholders, DepEd, LGU, DSWD, and other interagencies, involvement of nearby barangay to strengthen cooperation. Under this evaluation model, a teacher should use both summative and formative evaluation. Summative and formative evaluation, what does it mean? Any idea? Yes. Summative evaluation is the assessment of participants where the focus is on the outcome of a program. Under summative evaluation, we can formulate questions. Where important needs addressed? Was a defensible design employed? Was the design well executed? Or did the efforts succeed? Under formative evaluation, it is typically conducted during the development of improvement of a program. Under this evaluation, we can formulate a questions again. What need to be done? How should it be done? Is it being done? Is it succeeding? Well, the answers when the project proposal of Batang Langoy is being implemented. As we go along, the three domains are considered cognitive as it requires knowledge of the CIPP model, affective as it requires arbitrations on conflicting interests in synthesizing different viewpoints, and psychomotor also as the evaluation model requires organization of the program. Under essentialism, student success will be defined according to what is essential, what is needed was already resolved. According to the philosophy of essentialism, student success should meet the three R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. So, do you have any idea in which school adopt the CIPP model? Yes. One school is Tarlac College of Agriculture. Uses this CIPP model under the Adapt a School program. It is a development project of the Commission on Information and Communication Technology that supports the effort of the Department of Education in promoting ICT in education. Second school is the University of the Philippines, National Institute for Science and Mathematics Education Development. Implementation of the project holds a post-project evaluation commissioned by DOST wherein the curriculum designed to understand and apply scientific knowledge in both local and global contexts, demonstrates science process skills, and exhibits scientific attitudes and values. Using Stufflebeam CIPP model has advantage and disadvantage. One of these advantages is that it includes not only the functional element, but also behavioral consideration, meaning need to consider behaviors when using this model. Second, this model was not assigned to a specific program or solution in mind. Thus, it can be applied to multiple evaluation, meaning it can be applied in any program that may serve as reference. Disadvantage of this model is that the model could be said to blur the line between evaluation and other investigative process such as need assessment. Meaning, the CIPP model, there is no assurance that may succeed once the program implemented. It is not widely known and applied in the performance improvement field as model. The CIPP evaluation model that was developed by Daniel Stufflebeam has been a great evaluation tool that allows evaluators to evaluate the program at different stages. It helps the evaluator better understand the need at the start of the program and at the end of the program to assess whether or not the program had an effect. We can identify easily in a systematic way the goals, the plans, the action that we need to do and redesign it in order for the program to develop and implement it successfully and continuously improve. In behalf of Group 5, we are happy to present our virtual demo teaching. leader